For far too long, it was just a dream. And then, last season, it all came together. The money, the people, and the goals!
For 15 dark years, Portsmouth were cast into the shadows of English football. Relegation battles and financial ruin threatened the club's very existence. But in 2003 it all clicked, and now Pompey were back in the big time. But was the Premiership ready for Pompey? Ahead of the big kick-off, club director and supporter Fred Dinage went behind the scenes to lift the lid on the Premier League's newest arrivals.
Well, this is the away dressing room at Fratton Park, and these baths, would you believe, are where Messrs Owen and Van Nistelrooy and the rest of the Premier League fancy dans will have to have a wash down. I've never seen anything like this. Or this is where they'll get changed. It's the size of a postage stamp. The roof's coming in, and this is where Hasselbank is going to have his pecs massaged. I'll tell you something, he won't fancy it. Well, there'll be plenty of battles here in the boardroom, of course, over how to spend the money, who to spend it on, and even bigger battles, of course, if we find ourselves bottom of the Premier League. God forbid. And there'll be no posh dugout for the likes of Ferguson, Wenger and Houllier. Oh no, they've got a bus shelter. Well, this is the Milton end where the away fans sit, and they won't be used to this. You see, there's no cover, so if it rains, they get soaking wet. Can you hear that? That's just part of the wall of sound that comes for 90 minutes every Saturday from 5,500 supporters here in the Fratton end. And the fancy dans of the Premier League won't like it because look how close they are to this hostile noise. Well, it's a bit scary, isn't it? But still, that's what it's all about. But if we directors are a bit worried, well, what about the fans? What about the people who make up the club? What do they think about it all?
Can't wait. Dreams come true, innit?
It'll be quite good seeing all the new Premiership players and everything. So yeah, should be good.
I think we'll survive. I'm not worried about us going down this season. But I think 40 points by the end of May, should be able to do that.
Well, it's obviously going to be a hard fight to survive, but hopefully the signings Harry's made and everything, you know, they'll all gel together and be okay, hopefully.
With the opening day clash against Aston Villa looming, redevelopment and restoration was the name of the game off the pitch. Fratton Park resembled an episode of DIY SOS as builders, cleaners and electricians frantically fought to bring the stadium up to scratch. Meanwhile, manager Harry Redknapp was busy building a squad capable of staying in the top flight. The foundation of last season's championship team remained, though there was one notable departure. Talisman Paul Merson decided the rigours of England's top league would be too much for his ageing legs. But what a contribution Magic Merson made in his short stay. Harry's wheeling and dealing saw a host of new faces through the Fratton Park entrance. There was a major coup when Patrick Berger swapped Merseyside for the South Coast. Dejan Stefanovic became the club's record signing. He arrived from Vitesse for £1.8 million. Another £1.5 million went on Senegal's Amdi Faye. It would prove to be a sniff. There are a host of free transfers as well, including Croatian captain Boris Zivkovic, Harold Wappenaar and Sebastian Schemmel. And of course a new skipper was required. Enter Teddy Sheringham, a player of proven pedigree and the kind of Premier experience Pompey would need plenty of. Though there'd be no Svetoslav Todorov, he ruptured medial ligaments on the eve of the campaign. It would keep the Bulgarian sidelined for the entire term. But the blow of Toddy's injury couldn't temper the excitement ahead of Pompey's opening Premiership fixture. The match had captured the imagination of the entire country as the Sky cameras rolled into town for the early kick-off. Everyone was desperate to see how Pompey would cope with life back amongst the big boys, and they weren't to be disappointed. A packed house bathed in August sunshine welcomed Pompey to the Premiership. A proud moment for the two men who had made it all possible. And led by new skipper Sheringham, they set about visitors Aston Villa like they'd never been away. Having gone close with an earlier free kick, Sheringham started the move that saw Patrick Berger release Yakubu. The Nigerian shot was blocked, and there was Sheringham. Instant hero status was assured. In the second half, it got even better. Some neat build-up on the edge of the Villa box ended with debutant Berger weaving his way through the Villa defence. The Czech star finished in style, so cue the white-hot celebrations and a series of cliched puns. But this was turning out to be a tasty debut for Berger. But Pompey were made to sweat for their first Premier points when Boris Zivkovic was adjudged to have felled Gareth Barry. Though a second look suggests Barry may well have tripped on a rogue piece of turf, the penalty was duly dispatched, and so was Barry moments later for a second bookable offence. Following an agonising wait, the final whistle sparked jubilant scenes and signalled the rebirth of a city. Pompey had arrived.
We wanted first win on the season, and we can relax now and play some football.
I think we'll be safe. I think we'll be safe this season, and with a crowd like that every home match, teams are going to struggle when they come down here.
A long time we waited for this, and it is brilliant. Just goes to show we can hold out. We can hold our own in the Premier Division. Magic, boys, lovely.
And how close it was to being maximum points from the opening two matches. Pompey were the first visitors to Manchester City's new stadium and nearly stole the show. Yakubu racing through the City backline to open the scoring and silence the blue camp. But deep into stoppage time, David Sommet rose highest to head a heartbreaking equaliser. Much to the relief of Kevin Keegan. 3 days later, Sam Allardyce's Bolton rolled into town and were promptly rolled over by a stunning second-half show. Big Sam had said his side would show the Blues what Premiership life was all about, but it was Harry's boys doing the talking on the field as Teddy Sheringham followed Steve Stone's opener by helping himself to a hat-trick. It was vintage Sherry. The sensational battering of Bolton sent Pompey top of the Premiership, and the morning after, Harry and his troops took time out to reflect on a never-to-be-forgotten night.
I haven't seen sights down here, probably for a good few years, and it was good, It's some of what you look forward to in your professional career for things like that to happen, to have nights like that.
It was a good performance, I don't think we ever get carried away. We've all been around too long to do that now, but it was a good night and we played very well, got some great goals, and it gives us all a bit of confidence and something to build on. You get great support here at Portsmouth. They're fantastic, marvellous supporters, and they get right behind the team, and you know, they're with us every week, and it's great that finally, after many years where things haven't gone so great from them, they're getting some real success, and they've had a great year last year. Hopefully we can give another fantastic year this year.
Portsmouth's first month as a Premiership club ended in stalemate at Molineux. Teddy Sheringham missed the best chance of the match, but he did have the Barclaycard Player of the Month award to console himself with. As well as an unbeaten start to life in the Premiership.
On the eve of the transfer deadline, Harry was at it again, with Alexei Smirtin joining just hours after he'd become a Chelsea player.
It was a great deal. It's like Christmas has come early, isn't it? You know, you took a £4 or £5 million player who, you know, is a top player, believe you me, at Bordeaux. He's a Russian captain as well. And we've managed to pick him up on a loan and pay part of his wages. I mean, it's a fantastic deal.
We spoke to Debbie in reception this morning. She's a bit disappointed you haven't brought him down yet. Are you likely to bring him down the next few days?
Debbie? No, she's at the moment, she's too busy looking at Teddy Sheringham and Patrick Berger and all these other people, you know, I mean... Cover yourself up, madam, please. Do you mind? We bring in new players here, look, we bring in new players here. We don't want to... Please, someone cover this young lady. No, we've got to keep them away from Debbie. They're all married men anyway, so... Debbie definitely is not getting hold of any of them.
Also arriving were Jason Roberts on loan from West Brom and former Newcastle stopper Pavel Cernacek from Brescia. But August also brought an end to Yoshi Kawaguchi's unhappy spell in England. Next up to Highbury, the Gunners were brushing aside all comers, but it was Pompey who looked more likely in this one. Yakubu guilty of an early miss.
Picked up by Berger. Carelessly given away by Vieira on that occasion. Portsmouth coming into things here. And there's Stone, and there's Sheringham, and Portsmouth lead. Silence in 3 quarters of the Highbury ground, but Teddy Sheringham has come back to haunt Arsenal again. Not content with scoring goals for Spurs and Manchester United against the Arsenal, Teddy Sheringham has now added Portsmouth to the list of clubs whom he's managed to hurt Arsenal for.
But a great start at Highbury was foiled when Pompey fell afoul of a sly Frenchman, though Robert Perez would later apologise for the untimely antics that denied a famous win. Having seen his first kick ruled out for encroachment, second attempt. On the back of last season's promotion as Division 1 champions, Chairman Milan Mandalik was rewarded the freedom of the city. A civic reception at Portsmouth Guildhall was attended by first-team squad members and supporters alike. It was a fitting tribute to the man who'd made Premiership football at Fratton Park a reality.
Special day. I'm a very proud man, I should say that, and it's an emotional day for me. It's something that you know, I didn't realize before when I came here that people are so much supportive to the club and myself. So got to be a very happy man. And seeing the list on the wall, you know, where my name is, it's just incredible. You know, seeing the heroes, the Montgomerys, Churchill, and quite a few others there. It's just a great achievement. I'm very, very thankful to people who brought me here, and those are our supporters.
It was almost a shock when Blackburn ended Pompey's unbeaten run. The Blues' form couldn't be better, and with Rovers struggling, some experts had even installed them as favourites. But the harsh lessons of Premiership life would start to rear their ugly head in September. And calamitous defending allowed Lucas Neal to pinch the lead. first defeat of the season was confirmed when Andy Cole steered in number 2. Ariane Dazou gave Pompey hope of a second-half comeback, but this effort proved only to be a consolation. The Carling Cup started with a bang. Harry took the opportunity to make changes and saw Tim Sherwood and Jason Roberts each bag 2 apiece, along with Matty Taylor scoring on his return from injury. Unfortunately, that result couldn't be mirrored in the league, as high-flying Birmingham took Pompey apart, with goals either side of half-time. Stephen Clements headed the first, and Stan Lazaridis wrapped up the points with a coolly taken effort. It had all started so well against Charlton. Teddy Sheringham met Tim Sherwood's corner and crept in the opener. No need for Russian linesmen on this occasion. Pompey looked on course for a return to winning ways, but if one thing is assured in the top flight, it's miss your chances and you'll pay the price. Jonathan Fortune cashed in on some sloppy marking to head Charlton level. And in injury time, Sean Bartlett stole all 3 points for the Londoners. The early form may have dipped, but what better way to bounce back than with victory over Liverpool? Fueled by the heartbreaking FA Cup defeat 11 years earlier, Pompey fans had waited a long time for revenge, and how sweet it was. Fittingly, it was former Red Patrick Berger who poked home the winner after just 4 minutes to seal a memorable victory and stun his former employers. The seeds were apparently sown for a rollercoaster campaign, and that was confirmed at St James's Park. Despite the optimism and anticipation, Pompey wilted in the cauldron-like atmosphere. Gary Speed smashed the Geordies into a 17th minute lead. Then referee Paul Durkin awarded a contentious penalty against Dejan Stefanovic. Deliberate handball, apparently. It looked no clearer in black and white. Alan Shearer converted the penalty, and the writing was firmly on the wall. The capitulation was complete when Shola Amiobi's looping header bemused Xhaka and dropped despairingly under the bar. The Carling Cup was offering a welcome distraction to the ups and downs of the Premiership, though a difficult tie was made even trickier when Ugen Bopp gave Forest the lead. Sebastian Schemmel claimed a fortunate equaliser via Des Walker's head, before Yakubu nipped in to put Pompey in front. But celebrations were cut short when Bopp's leveller took the match into extra time. A shock was still on the cards until Jason Roberts slid the visitors back in front. And to the delight of a vast travelling support, Yakubu waltzed Pompey into round 4. It's the fixture Premiership football's all about, and Pompey fans were determined to enjoy the Old Trafford experience. But the theatre of dreams soon became the scene of nightmares as Diego Forlan notched United in front. For 80 minutes, the Blues held firm until Cristiano Ronaldo curled in number 2. Slice of good fortune. And moments later, skipper Roy Keane hammered in a stunning third.
An injury crisis was gathering pace, so Gary O'Neill's loan spell at Walsall was cut short and he went straight into the starting lineup against Leeds.
Pompey have, of course, won their last 2 games at home, but a good start, so crucial. Oh, it's gone in! A super header there from Dejan Stefanovic. The in-swinging corner from Patrick Berger, what a perfect start. Great delivery from Berger, and there Stefanovic completely unmarked, his first goal for the club. Leeds on the counter-attack here. Johnson, oh, lovely through ball. Alan Smith surely must score. The Portsmouth defence all over the place. An instant response from Leeds United. Alan Smith's 3rd goal in 4 matches. Where was Hayden Fox? Half-time approaching, Portsmouth pushing forward once again. Leeds defence all over the place again. O'Neill hits one! Oh, it's gone in. Amazing. Simply amazing. Gary O'Neill. Leeds just couldn't get it clear. Super strike from O'Neill, and it's taken a deflection off Dominic Matteo. You have to sympathise a bit with Paul Robinson. He really didn't stand a chance there. Berger, ball flicked forward. Hayden Fox, what's he doing up there? He's scoring a goal. 3-1 to Portsmouth. Once again, Leeds defence all over the place, and Hayden Fox, well, Robinson got a little touch. Super finish though. Portsmouth streaming forward yet again. What an afternoon this is turning into. Berger, oh, super ball. Well, that was quite sublime from Patrick Berger. He's tormented Leeds United all afternoon. O'Neill peeling away. What a super finish for Gary O'Neill. Here's Sheringham. Berger. Surely Patrick Berger. Pompey are in dreamland. 5-1 against Leeds United at Fratton Park. And it's Patrick Berger who gets reward for all the hard work he's put in this afternoon. And it's not over yet. Here's Gary O'Neill in possession for Portsmouth. He's had a fabulous game this afternoon too. The first time he's ever scored twice. Lovely deep cross at the back post. Yakubu! Oh, he's hit the post! Well, it's gone in. It's 6-1. Yakubu keeping a cool head. Lovely first touch, a good save from Robinson, it has to be said, and Yakubu with the presence of mind just to tuck it away.
The magnificent mauling of Leeds reinforced Pompey's Premiership status. Time for manager and players to reflect on an unbelievable afternoon.
It was a good day for us, you know, we played ever so well. It was a terrific performance, another good performance, you know, one of many good performances we've turned in this year. I've been delighted with the way we've played week in, week out, to be honest. Second half we really opened them up and we took our chances. First half we created a lot of chances before we actually scored, but didn't manage to take any. But it was nice to see the goals go in and they were shared around. I mean, you know, it was unusual that we scored 6 and Teddy didn't score, you know, which was unusual. But as I said earlier, if you'd have said to somebody 2 years ago that we'd be playing Leeds in the Premiership now and beating them 6-1, I think people would have thought you were off your head. They were playing Champions League semi-finals at that time and we were struggling at the foot of the first division, so it's been an amazing turnaround. Gary was excellent, you know, he did great for us last year when he played and whenever he came in the side. But there's competition in midfield, that's an area that I was probably the strongest in terms of strength in depth that we have got at the club. You know, I've got Andy Fay, who's a terrific player, Lexi Smertin, Nigel Quasi, you know, they were all not available. Tim Sherwood was outstanding, and so was Gary O'Neill on Saturday. They both did a great job for us.
First half was tough. They when they got back in it at 1-1, they probably still thought they had a chance. So we had to grind it out, and the goal just before half-time seemed to just knock the wind out of them a little bit. It took a slight deflection, actually. But yeah, I hit it quite well, and it was going on target. So I suppose you deserve a little bit of luck if you get it on target from there.
Though any chance to capitalise was hampered by an enforced 16-day break before the trip to Fulham.
Well, it is difficult, you know, but we've got 1 or 2 injuries anyway, and to be fair, I've got 1 or 2 older players, and this is where you've got to judge, you know, how much training they need, whether they need a little bit of a break, which is what is going to be best for them in the long term. And so it's not a big deal, you know. I think people like Teddy and Patrick Berger, Steve Stone, Tim Sherwood, the break of a few days rest here and there and the next week won't do them any harm at all.
And after that goal, what will Foxy be getting up to?
Don't know, mate. Don't know. It's a bit strange, you know. We'll probably have a few days off over the weekend, so don't know. Might go somewhere or might just stay at home and relax, mate. Don't know.
The rest over the break had obviously spread to lacklustre defending, as Pompey stood still at Loftus Road, allowing Louis Sahar to smash the cottagers in front. And Sahar punished the visitors again minutes later by heading in a decisive second. Same miserable conditions, same miserable result, as Leicester plundered the points away from Fratton Park. Les Ferdinand had opened the scoring with a speculative free kick before Marcus Bent evaded the non-existent marking to make it 2.
Svensson. Schmidt. Zivkovic is stumbling. Here's Ormrod. Now Marsden. And Beattie! Southampton have the lead. And who else but James Beattie? Taylor loses out to Fernandes. Here's Telfer. That's Svensson. It's a stretch to get away from Sheringham. On by Pratt. Here's Beattie. It's James Beattie. Penalty. Never a doubt about it. And it's a red card too for Aaron Deseo. A straight red. Controversy here in stoppage time. This really to wrap it up for Southampton. It's Beattie. It's 2-0 and it's 2 for James Beattie.
The less said about the previous debacle, the better, though it wasn't much more entertaining at the Riverside. Steve Stone's frustration resulted in an early booking, while Yakubu squandered Pompey's best chance on the break. Oh dear. And a dour day was summed up when Stone was sent off for a second bookable offence. The Blues got off to a flyer against the Toffees as Jason Roberts converted his first league goal for the club with competent ease. But Lee Carsley made it 1-1. Before a combination of erratic goalkeeping and eccentric refereeing combined to cost Pompey the points. And having escaped a red card moments earlier, Wayne Rooney scored the winner. This one was so bad Harry cancelled Christmas. Disaster was in the offing when Jason Dodd fluked the first. Then a distinctly overweight Marian Pahar sauntered his way onto the pitch, wobbled his way past Boris Zivkovic and bashed in a second. And let's face it, most of us had either turned off or even gone home by the time that England wannabe James Beattie made it 3-0. Roll on Boxing Day. The situation had become a little desperate over the festive period, so victory over Spurs was a must. Patrick Berger struck a sizzling free kick for the first. And just when you thought we'd run out of lame Berger puns, his second dead ball was taken with relish. Despite an excellent result, the day was upset by the unfortunate injury suffered by Tim Sherwood. This clash with Maurizio Tirico broke the former Spurs leg and ruled him out of the rest of the season. ...2003 ended at Stamford Bridge, and despite Wayne Bridge annoying the travelling support with his over-exuberance, nothing could take away from what had been an incredible year for Portsmouth Football Club. Unfortunately, the golfing class on this occasion was too much, as goals from Frank Lampard and then Jeremy kept the points on Millionaires Row. The injury jinx was fast becoming a curse, as just 10 outfield players reported fit for duty ahead of the FA Cup tie with Blackpool. So desperate had the situation become that Harry Redknapp called in 3 youth team members to make up the bench. But all seemed well when Sebastian Schemmel headed Pompey in front. Though the lead didn't last long, as Scott Taylor took advantage of some statuesque defending to equalise. Just as a far-from-needed replay loomed, Yakubu rediscovered his scoring touch to bundle in a stoppage-time winner.
7 new signings would arrive over the course of the transfer window, the first of whom was Petri Pasanen on loan from Ajax.
Despite that cup triumph, league points were still proving elusive, and when Juan Pablo Angel gave Villa the lead, it looked like another bleak night on the road. But Yakubu gave the visiting Hordes a lift when he met Patrick Berger's pinpoint delivery to level. And just as a well-earned draw seemed safe, Darius Vassell claimed a late winner, even though he knew little about it.
Alexei Smertin gave Pompey a New Year boost by extending his loan stay until the end of the campaign. And Eyal Berkovic arrived on a free transfer from Man City just hours before facing his former club.
City's visit to Fratton Park would be remembered as the scene of David Seaman's last ever game. The former England and Arsenal legend was injured in a clash with Yakubu, which would put pay to a glittering career. His efforts for club and especially country well appreciated by the ovation he was given by the home support. Though that was where the sympathy ended for Kevin Keegan's side, as Dejan Stefanovic met Patrick Berger's corner to head the opener. But it took City just 2 minutes to get on level terms, with Nicolas Anelka pouncing inside the penalty area after some incisive build-up play. And on the stroke of half-time, Antoine Sibierski gave them the lead with a lovely strike. In the second period, the home side responded, with Yakubu grabbing the equaliser. And moments later, Teddy Sheringham turned the match on its head by putting Pompey in front. The game could have gone either way, but it was Yakubu who sealed the points in Pompey's favour. Yak, 2 in the sack, 4 in 3 matches now for the unpredictable Nigerian. Not many get excited about a trip to Bolton in mid-January, and this was no different. Kevin Davies got the only goal in a scrappy encounter, which also saw Dejan Stefanovic dismissed.
There were departures as well during the window. Boris Zivkovic left having failed to settle in England, and Jason Roberts' loan spell ended after West Brom sold the striker to Wigan.
The glamour of the FA Cup brought Scunthorpe to town, but it was more the clamour to see Pompey that brought over 17,000 to this 4th round tie. And those that braved a chilly afternoon were rewarded as Matt Taylor struck a decisive double to see the home side safely through. Andy Parton pulled a goal back late on, but it was Pompey who went into the hat for round 5.
More business in the transfer market saw promising youngster Richard Duffy signed from Swansea. And Croatian striker Ivica Mornar arrived from Anderlecht.
If you wanted goals, don't bother coming to see Pompey face Wolves. The reflexes of Paul Jones assured another barren 90 minutes between the two. The Welsh keeper twice made stunning stops to foil Isle Berkovic first, and then Patrick Berger. Teddy Sheringham squandered another great chance in the wind. 0-0 it finished.
Harry's ducking and diving ended at the 11th hour on deadline day, with John Curtis joining from Leicester. And long-term target Lomana Lualua finally arrived on loan from Newcastle.
Pompey weren't the only side to make use of the transfer window. Tottenham had prized Jermaine Defoe to White Hart Lane, and he duly scored 13 minutes into his debut. Isle Berkovic then plundered a fortunate leveller with a little assistance from Stephen Carr. But the visitors were caught napping at the other end, allowing Robbie Keane to put Spurs back in front. Lomana Lualua then came from the bench to score a stunning equaliser and give Pompey fans a first glimpse of that trademark celebration. Though the visitors' plight would worsen moments later, as one-man band Keane would have no sympathy for an overworked defence. This was fast becoming a thriller, and Ivica Mornar became the 3rd player of the afternoon to score his first Pompey goal. Point saved. Or not, as Gustavo Poyet pinched them all with a last gasp winner. Roman's yacht couldn't quite squeeze into Port Solent, so the Chelsea chairman stayed at home as his side strolled to victory at Fratton Park. Scott Parker stole in to give Chelsea an early advantage. And with 10 minutes remaining, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank was put in the clear. His shot rebounded from the bar, straight to the chest of Hernan Crespo to wrap the match up. At last, the FA Cup had given Pompey a match to get excited about, as 3,500 fans travelled north. And most hadn't even taken their seats by the time Michael Owen finished a flowing move to put Liverpool in front. The game could have passed them by, but Pompey held firm. They had the chances and withstood the onslaught. As time ran out, they stole an equaliser. Matthew Taylor blasting his shot into the roof of the net and running the length of the Anfield pitch in celebration. A well-earned replay, and excitement was growing at the prospect of a cup run.
We're brilliant. We're going to beat the backsides off them.
We do far better at home than we do away, and hopefully we're going to continue doing so.
Well, obviously we're going to beat them 2-1. We showed them we can keep up with the level up at Anfield, and we're going to show them when they come down here.
Let's just keep in mind, this is my first run. I don't want to think about those others in the previous 4 years. It's very exciting, you know, and it's great to be in it, and I just hope we can stay for a while there.
So the two teams came back 7 days later to do it all again, and this time it proved just as eventful. Referee Matt Messias would be centre of attention. First, he rescinded the award of a penalty for handball against Matty Taylor. As the replay clearly showed, it was the hand of Liverpool striker Milan Barros that made contact with the ball. But later in the half, Messias was again pointing to the spot, despite the fact that the decision was again incorrect. There would be no reprieve, though justice was done when Shaka Hislop made the first penalty save of his career to deny Michael Owen. Suddenly the balance of power had shifted, and with extra time looming, Richard Hughes picked his spot and drilled Pompey dramatically towards round 6. Hislop had to be at his best to deny Owen late on and set up a massive match with treble chasing Arsenal.
Incredible performance, honestly. You know, I've been in football a long time. That was one of the great performances today.
And yeah, it did, after a quiet start, turn into be a pleasant cup tie to watch, I'd imagine. But we're just delighted to have got the job done and progress to the last day.
We kept going, and Richard got a great goal to win the game, and I'm so proud of them today. They were fantastic again.
Yeah, I haven't played Arsenal since I left 5 years ago now. So just to be involved in the last 8 of the FA Cup is a great feeling in itself, and yeah, perhaps extra special to draw the likes of Arsenal.
Incredible the way we've gone forward in the last 2 years. It's been an unbelievable. I bet the fans can't believe it, you know, and it's been good to be part of that.
Despite the cup heroics, Pompey knew league points were the priority, though it looked like they'd drawn another blank in that department after Craig Bellamy gave Newcastle the lead in this one. With the clock ticking on and home fans fearing another home reverse, up popped Lamana Lualua. The scriptwriters had done it again. On loan from Newcastle, and with seconds remaining, the man from the Congo struck a remarkable late equaliser. Didn't he just love it? He didn't mind it either.
I was really looking forward, you know, to be playing in this game. You know, most of the players don't really play, so you know, for me that said something. You know, I always says I ain't got a point to prove to anyone but myself. You know, and I'm here on loan to impress. You know, to show what I can do. So it was good to score. You know, just to score a goal. I was looking forward for this game. Yeah, it was really good to score.
Packed house and a national television audience tuned in to see an intriguing FA Cup quarter-final. But Pompey just couldn't live with a rampant Arsenal. Still fighting on 3 fronts, the Gunners wasted no time in putting their hosts to the sword. Thierry Henry had got the first, while Freddie Ljungberg added a second. And Kolo Touré bagged a third in first half stoppage time. There was no let-up after the break, as Henry doubled his tally for the evening. Then Ljungberg did likewise minutes later. But still the Fratton faithful sung, and their magnificent support was rewarded when Teddy Sheringham scored a well-deserved consolation. But for this year at least, the cup run was over. With pride and morale dented, the Blues travelled to Merseyside for 2 games in 5 days, though neither would yield points. Again, it was a case of remembering the name Wayne Rooney. Pompey fans wouldn't be forgetting it in a hurry, as the cheeky Scouser scored the only goal at Goodison. And there, Michael Owen bagged a brace to seal a comfortable win for Liverpool, though in between Stefanovic was unlucky to strike the crossbar.
Now the pressure was really on ahead of Southampton's visit to Fratton Park, but the players and manager alike remained in confident mood.
At the end of the year, it's all that matters to me is that we stay in the Premier. You know, where the points come from, it'd be nice to beat Southampton, for sure.
On a personal note and on a collective note, we need to win a game. We'd obviously love to get something back from the game, as you're saying. It's a massive, massive game for us again.
I think we've got to be relaxed. We can't go out and be, and it's not, and charge around like a bunch of lunatics. We've got to play our football and we've got to be composed and make sure we all do our jobs. And if we do that, I'm sure we can, get the result we need.
Now, I'm one of them. I understand. It means a lot. It means it's a derby. It's that, everyone wants to win. Beat your neighbour. And there is no difference here, isn't it?
So I think for us at the moment, we need 3 points more than they do, and we're at home, and I'm sure it'll be a fantastic atmosphere, and the fans will be behind us. And we need to win for the fans as much as we need to win for ourselves, because we want to bring them some joy. And obviously, we played them twice this season and lost twice, and we want to beat them at our place.
So Derby Day was here, and a sense of revenge was in the air. December's defeats forgotten as Pompey looked to make it 3rd time lucky. But it wasn't just local pride at stake. The situation at the bottom looked bleak as the Blues stared relegation in the face. The message loud and clear: win at all costs. So what a time for Yakubu to rediscover his goal-scoring touch once again. Not the greatest strike you'll ever see, but oh, what a sweet one. Bedlam ensued, and why not? Pompey fans had waited many a long year for this moment, and they weren't about to waste it. And we're assuming no one will be arguing with a few replays of this one. Then came the unbearable wait for the final whistle, but when it came, it was time to party.
That's it! Matt Pulitizier, Laurie McManamy, Mike Osman, the Coldplay drummer, Craig David. You boys took a hell of a beating!
To lay on the winner was great, simply because, we beat Southampton, 3 points, and we can go on from here.
Just fantastic, the crowd is amazing. I never see anything like this. I've played some nice stadiums in the world, but this is something else.
It was a big day for the fans and everybody. It was so important we won today, and we deserved it. We worked so hard today, and it was a great result.
Derby Delight had offered renewed hope, but even the most ardent Blues supporter would have taken a point at Ewood Park. But after Teddy Sheringham's free kick found the bottom corner, the vociferous away support suddenly believed. Tugay dented that confidence with an untidy equaliser. But Pompey weren't to be denied as Black finished in style. The fans were in a mood for a party, and despite the steward's intervention, nothing could spoil a first away win in the Premiership, and light at the end of the tunnel.
Great result for us. Yeah, we needed that one away from home, and so to come here and pick up 3 points today was vital. We needed an away win. Our away forms, we've played well away from home without winning all season, so it was nice to get off the mark today. We've got in positions to win so many times and not taken our chances or, conceded late goals. But today we hung in there and it was a terrific result for us.
The quest for more points on the road took Pompey to the Valley, where Charlton was slipping towards their usual end-of-season slumber. Though it was the visitors who were caught sleeping when Sean Bartlett sneaked in to open the scoring. But Harry's boys bounced back in the second half, and it was that man, Yakubu, again. (1-1), and another precious point in the bag. Premiership survival was on the horizon, and Easter Monday brought an informed Birmingham to Fratton Park. Referee Barry Knight has never endeared himself to the home crowd over the years, and another ear-bashing looked likely when the Orpington official ruled out this Yakubu effort. Though after careful consideration, the referee gave a red card to Mike Taylor for handling the ball outside his box. And the situation was fully redeemed when Dejan Stefanovic thumped home the resulting free kick. Loire seemed to have put the match beyond Brum when he applied the finishing touch to a mazy dribble. Not bad at the back flips, not bad at this bit either. But Birmingham replied instantly through Stern John. Fortunately, a frantic finale was evaded though when referee Knight pointed to the spot. This time it was skipper Kenny Cunningham's hand to blame. And up stepped Yakubu to wrap up 3 more vital points. The Sky cameras were back in town 5 days later for the visit of Manchester United. Fratton Park again full to bursting point, though who could have predicted what was to come? United threatened early on, but Xhaka was on top form to deny Ole Solskjaer. Then Loire teased Silvestre. His cross wasn't cleared, and Steve Stone did the rest. What a moment for the veteran midfielder, and a raucous home crowd. In the second period, United laid siege to the Pompey goal, only for some heroic defending and a little luck to deny the visitors. Yakubu could have wrapped it up with this chance. But it didn't matter. Pompey held on for a famous victory and a real hope now of keeping their place in the Premiership.
That's massive now. You know, we can go to Leeds next week knowing that, you know, we just need to get anything out of the game. We've had to battle hard out there today. That wasn't pretty at times, but one was enough, and that's pleasing for our point of view, you know, because we've deserved that today. They always say we've got the 12th man, you know, and today that proved again. You know, we were backs to the wall most of the game, and they were excellent, and they have been all season. And it's not just this season they've been there for years and years, you know, and they deserve what they're getting right now.
Massive 3 points. You know, to be honest, before the game, I thought if we can get a point here today, keeps us going, you know, keeps the run going. But to pick up 3 was fantastic. Well, I mean, anybody, you know, it's not very often you beat Man United. They're a special team, special football club. So to actually beat them today was great, and especially in the circumstances. We need the points, and we've been playing excellent. I said all season we've been playing well. We got decimated at one stage, couldn't get a team out. Now got a squad back again, and we've been in great form. That's 13 points out of the last 15. I mean, that's terrific form.
Elland Road was the venue for Portsmouth's date with destiny. Pompey knew a victory would all but seal Premiership safety, while condemning their hosts Leeds to the drop. And what a start for the visitors, as Yakubu met Steve Stone's cross to head another nail into the United coffin. Ariane Dazou should have doubled the lead, but wasted this golden opportunity when it looked easier to score. But 6 minutes into the second half, Lamana Lualua netted his 4th Pompey goal to send the travelling support wild. Though, as you well know, life is never easy as a Pompey fan, and Uriah Rennie made it a painful last few minutes after awarding Leeds a debatable penalty. Ian Hart eventually scored from the spot. But Pompey hung on, and the celebratory scenes at full-time showed just what the result meant. Survival was secured. This was very much a case of after the Lord Mayor's show. Fulham already had half a mind on their summer holidays, while Pompey never looked like being denied the single point needed for mathematical safety. Yakubu put the home side in front with just 10 minutes left. But a possible 2 extra points were thrown away when Brian McBride struck a late leveller. Though no one really cared, Pompey was safe.
We've done that through keeping the spirit right, keeping the players together, keep believing in it, keep telling them how good they are and they can do the job, and they've done it. They've been great. But it's always going to be tough. It's always going to be tough for us in the Premier League. It's never going to be easy. We know that. We know next year is going to be equally as tough again. Anyone who thinks otherwise is a fool. It's going to be a tough season again. But that's part of the fun. When you're at Portsmouth, you know it's going to be hard. We're not going to hit the top 3, are we? We're going to look to stay in again next year and consolidate again if we can. But it won't be easy.
It's relaxed now. The pressure is off now. We've been going for this for so long, and it's a great feeling. But the problem. Like I said, Arsenal's coming on Tuesday, so we can't relax too much because we still want to give a good account of ourselves.
I never expected this. I thought we'd be going right down to the wire. I thought Middlesbrough, last game of the season, it would all hinge on that. To be fair, it looked that close at one time. So to be home and safe now at this stage of the season is a fantastic feeling.
With survival assured, Pompey could enjoy a visit from the newly crowned champions. And after the FA Cup humiliation, the Blues were hell-bent on ending Arsenal's unbeaten run. Half an hour in, Aigbeni Yakubu made it 1-0. Spell it how you will, it means goals in any language. The striker had hit a real hot streak in recent weeks, but Arsenal had their own young gun coming into form. Jose Antonio Reyes grabbed the equaliser to preserve that unbeaten sequence. Though it may well have ended had the Yak beaten Lehmann with this chance. The German keeper making a great stop. And Dejan Stefanovic becoming quite the free kick specialist in the absence of Patrick Berger. Again brought the best out of Lehmann. At full-time, fans' favourite Henry took the opportunity to pull on a Pompey shirt. Fits well, monsieur. J'aime la Pompey. The final away match of the campaign took Pompey to the Walker Stadium, where the Foxes continue to hold a hoodoo sign over the Blues. Matt Taylor's own goal put City in front. And that lead was doubled when Paul Dickoff rifled in a second. Nigel Quasi gave the travelling horde something to shout about when he finished a great move to collect a first Premiership goal. But a first defeat in 9 games was confirmed when Jamie Scowcroft made it 3-1. At least Pompey fans had the consolation that it was their hosts rather than them being relegated.
The club was rocked when press support suggested Milan and Harry were at war over a supposed backroom shake-up, but those rumours were scotched ahead of the Borough match, and they even enjoyed a cosy moment in the stands.
And so the season came to a close in just the way it had started, with Pompey winning in the sunshine. Before kick-off, Ariane Dazou picked up the Player of the Year award, while boss Harry Redknapp received the Manager of the Month prize for guiding Pompey to Premiership safety. Then followed a devastating display of attacking football, as the Blues went 2-up inside the first 15 minutes against Middlesbrough. Yakubu got both. The first, a cracking curler. This was food and drink to the informed frontman, and if he thought that was appetising, the rest of his performance was even tastier. A coolly taken penalty followed after he'd won the kick himself. You got the feeling it was going to be Pompey's day. Bolo Zenden offered Borough brief respite. Until Yak was back on the attack soon after to complete a half-hour hat-trick. This time he twisted and tormented before finding the back of Mark Schwartz's net. Lamana Lua then went off to a standing ovation, the Pompey faithful appreciating his efforts in helping the Blues beat the drop. He was replaced by Teddy Sheringham, who came on to a rousing reception in his final appearance for the club. And Teddy signed off in style, adding the finishing touch to a fine move and make it 4-1.
Again, for number 10 on 80 minutes. Teddy Sheringham.
3 minutes later, Pompey took their tally to 5 for a second successive last day, as Yakubu smashed home his 4th goal of the afternoon. A fantastic individual display, a fitting end to a roller coaster campaign. Hats off to Harry and Jim. What an achievement. Not only to take Portsmouth into the Premiership, but also to keep them there. So a chance for Pompey to enjoy their moment in the sun as the players and staff indulged in a well-deserved lap of honour. And the hero of the day, the much-maligned Yakubu. Behind the smile, it seems there are goals aplenty, and they're costing the gaffer.
He was outstanding, Nicky, but it was a lucky day for me because at the start of the year I promised him £20,000, my own personal money, if he got 20 goals. And I didn't realise after the game he had 19. If I'd have known that, I would have subbed him at half-time, I promise you. He wouldn't have seen the second half if I knew he was getting that close. But I was very, very lucky. Missed a couple of chances at the end. That would have really ruined my day. I was delighted to see Teddy score. I mean, I've been proud to have been Teddy's manager this year. He is such a professional and such a great player. He's every day he comes in, trains like his life depends on it, sets great examples to the kids, technique, everything about him. He's been there, he's done the lot, and he's been a real pleasure to work with. Myself and Jim and Kevin, we can't speak highly enough of him. He's been magnificent. We had a meeting yesterday, and we sorted a few things out between us all. I took Jim Smith into the meeting, which was the most important thing of all. And so, Jim, we cleared up everything. You know, there was 1 or 2 mistakes that had been made this week, and I wanted Jim to be there to make sure that he heard everything that went on as well. And myself and Milan, we've had a good relationship, to be fair. We've had a couple of ups and downs this year, but overall, I think, I probably got on. We've had a good 2 years together. Couldn't have gone better. So I think it's all sorted, and hopefully that's the end of it now. We can get on and go forward with this football club. We've had a great year, and 2 great years really. To finish here where we have in the Premier League this year and played the football we've played. I think you see the fans today, you can see they want everybody to stay. They like us all, and so there's no problem in that respect.
With a heady mix of shattering lows and dizzying highs, it's been another incredible season for Portsmouth Football Club. Not only surviving in their first ever Premiership season, but finishing an impressive 13th in the final table. We thank you for all your tremendous support. See you next season.